What does it take to do 6 figures a month? It's a combination of a lot of things. Obviously,
the satisfaction of achieving a goal doesn't come from actually achieving the goal. It comes through the journey that you have to go through. If we're sat there and we open our bank account and there's £1 million in there, realistically, nothing in our life changes apart from what we see through our vision.
e-com store, product, service, lead generation, like there's so many different things that we were doing beforehand which hindered our chances of scaling to six figures a month. That's the only way to scale successfully anyway.
A lead may book an appointment or they may just become a lead. They're either a hot lead, booked an appointment, or they're just a normal lead. Depending on what they are is how you're going to nurture them. So for instance, if someone books an appointment,
that's sales 101. If someone doesn't trust you, they're never going to buy from you. I think a lot of people are in the mind frame of when I reach this amount of money, or when I get this promotion, or when I sell my business for this price, everything's going to be fine. Yeah, the money can take the pressure off of some of that stuff, but that stuff's still going to be there.
Yo guys, welcome back to the Gooms Podcast. Today, me and Chris sat down and we discussed exactly how we're going to scale our business to 6 figures per month. After spending thousands on courses and working with coaches to understand the right route to success, we finally discovered it. We're going to go into detail so that you guys can fully understand exactly how we're going to scale our business to 6 figures per month. Make sure that you stick around till the end of the episode. You're not going to want to miss this one. Thank you for all of the love on the recent episodes. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. Enjoy the episode, guys. What do you think it takes to get to 6 figures a month, bro?
There's a lot of things, obviously, that it takes. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here, we're not going to sit here and pretend that we've cracked the code, because we haven't. We just want a quick disclaimer. We aren't doing 6 figures a month, guys.
Gonna be.
We will be doing 6 figures a month, and 7, and then 8. But yeah, as of right now, we aren't. We're on our journey, which I think a lot of the guys that have clicked on this video will also be too. But yeah, what does it take to do 6 figures a month? It's a combination of a lot of things. Obviously, everybody's always going to say it. Hard work, determination, consistency. That's the main thing, showing up every day, because if you don't, no one else will. But what we've kind of realized, and the reason we've stripped our whole business back that we've been working on for the last, more than 2 years now, is because we got to a position where we couldn't really scale. We were being pulled this way, that way, do this ad, do this website, run this social media account, e-com store, you know what I mean? Product, service, lead generation. Like there's so many different things that we were doing beforehand which hindered our chances of scaling to six figures a month. Since our last in-house, we've invested into our education heavily. And I think one of the main reasons that we flipped our whole business on its head is because of the stuff that we learned in that course. And the first lesson when creating your product, when creating a brand new agency, was have one niche, have one offer or service, have one target audience, and make it fucking good. That's the only way to scale successfully anyway. Well, I say the only way. There's obviously other ways, but in my opinion, and I think in your opinion as well, like it's the only kind of viable way that we're going to get to 100K a month without hiring a team of 20, 30, 40 people. Productize that service, copy and paste it.
The main thing that we've learned is to keep things simple.
Yes.
Okay? We were trying to overcomplicate things before.
I was just overcomplicating that whole intro. I think you just nailed it straight away in 5 seconds. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah. We overcomplicated a lot in terms of our offerings.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, there wasn't really an offering. I'd say that's one main thing that we've learned, to be honest with you.
One offer.
Yeah, I think that's not even one offer, but how to curate an offer. Because before, when we used to think about an offer, it was just a discount, but it's not.
Yeah.
I'm pulling these numbers out of thin air, but let's say, for instance, you charge £1,000 for teeth whitening. Extortionate amount for teeth whitening, by the way. Yeah. But let's imagine that's what you charge. No, okay, teeth whitening was a bad example. Composites. Let's say you charge £1,000 for composites. The offer would not just be the composites come for £1,000. The offer is, okay, for £1,000 included is composite bonding, teeth whitening, 2 free checkups, a dental hygiene kit, and like maybe a dental hygiene course. And like the total value is like £3,000, but you get this all included for £1,000. When really these little other things that you're adding are extra, and they just curate your offer and make it something special that someone is more enticed to buy.
It's just building it out. That's what it is. And it's the same when people say buy 2 and get the third one free. You're still paying the same price that you would for 3 normally anyway, but they've just made it feel like when you buy these 2, you get the other one free. They're still making their margins. They're still getting their... It's an offer you can't say no to.
It's like genuinely, it's like, I don't know whether this is the best example or not, but Pure Sport, when you sign up to a subscription for like one of their supplements, you get a free pair of socks. Bro, they've got me twice. I swear to God, because the socks are banging and it's a good offer. Like the free stuff.
Just the socks.
Bro, the socks are banging socks. I'm telling you. But the offers, like, to get those socks is... You can only get those socks basically if you sign up for a subscription.
Yeah.
But the socks are genuinely amazing, like the best socks that I own. Yeah. It's so comfortable.
But the best people in the world do it. I mean, if we look at like courses, for an instance, the first 2 people that come to my head are E-Man and Tate. Hustlers University. It's $50 a month. What'd you get? Well, in there you get e-com training, you get crypto training, you get agency training, you get stocks and shares training, you get one-to-one mentorship, you get all of these things for just £50 a month.
Do you know who I think is the best at the free value side of things though?
Hormozy.
Yeah, without a doubt. Because his whole funnel is, okay, let's grow as many businesses we can to 3 million plus through free stuff, and then I'll invest in them through acquisition.com once they've got free stuff and they already trust me.
That's some goat shit though, isn't it? That's actually like, I actually think Hormozy's probably the GOAT in regards to like actually helping an agency or
podcast,
anyone.
Bro. You'd be amazing on the podcast.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'd rock up with the vest and the flannel as well?
Yeah, facts. I would as well, same day.
I'd probably have to just to do it. We'd have to get matching
ones. The sandals as well. He wears like the granddad sandals.
Hormozy, man.
But no, back to it though. But like the good offer is the place to start. Hormozy says it the most. I'm listening to $100 million offers at the moment, and he says it, one good offer can change your life. I mean, we're getting to that point now where we're going to see if this is the offer that's going to change our lives.
Literally.
But, like, well, hopefully it is, and if not, just keep adding things, changing the offer, making it perfect until it actually works.
Yeah.
The offer's not just a discount. That's an important thing that people need to remember.
I think let's strip it back. I want to strip it back a little bit to why we're even at where we're at, because me and you haven't sat down and had a conversation like this on the podcast for probably, when this comes out, like 6 weeks. It's a lot of time, and in that time, a lot has changed. I want to pull this back to when I was in Santorini, and I got those voice notes from you. What happened, and why we're at where we're at?
I don't think anything happened.
Something flipped. Something, you saw something that triggered something. Something, no?
I wouldn't say so. I was just kind of just in the office, just on my own. And I just assumed that we're not doing something right. I mean, I actually said to you, I'm pretty sure, was it in the voice note or did I just write on the whiteboard? What we learned on the course, which like basically clarified it before we were looking into anything and doing our research, I wrote on the whiteboard like one offer, one service, like one, I think it was probably from Hormozy, but like I wrote like the main variables down. And I was just thinking about it in the office. I was like, we're doing too much. Like something's not going right. Like we have to take action now. Like it wasn't something that nothing happened and nothing flicked. Maybe it's just something inside and like we're just pushing to be better.
Maybe that voice note was the flip though.
I was just on my way home. I remember I was in the office obviously thinking like in my spare time, if there's not much to do, like, I'll just educate myself.
Yeah.
I'd say that's something to do anyways. But I'll just educate myself, and I was probably watching something and maybe just seeing successful people online, but it's like, it's just something has to change.
Yeah.
It's the way that I thought of it. Just something wasn't right.
Well, they say in the online space, you can grow in 1 year the same way brick and mortars grow in 10. I mean, if we had a brick and mortar for 20 years and you're going to say that we're at the same position that we're at now, would you call that a success? Would you say that you achieved what you wanted to achieve? Like we haven't, don't get me wrong, we've learned so much and we've progressed so much as individuals, as businessmen. We've experienced so many different things, met new people, grown our network. But when it comes down to the business, did we achieve what we set out to achieve?
I wouldn't say we have yet. No.
Of course we haven't. We have.
But regardless, though, I think at most stages of business, like for instance, we had Jack Bayless on the pod, great episode as well.
Yeah,
that will be out by the time that we're
this
having this conversation.
Yeah.
we had a really, really amazing conversation with him after the pod. I mean, great guy.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Jack, man.
Yeah, literally, shout out Jack. But we had the conversation with him off camera, and we were like, we're not where we want to be, etc. And he was like, yeah, neither am I. But he's doing 1.2 mil, 1.5 mil a year, whatever it was. Like, it doesn't matter what stage we get to. We're probably still going to have those thoughts, as most business owners would.
I think that's just in us, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You just always want that next thing. I was listening to a really, really interesting podcast. I actually sent it you yesterday.
I listened to the section you said.
He said something. He was like, I was with some billionaires and they were talking about Jeff Bezos. And they were like, he's so rich. And he was like, well, 1 minute. What can you buy? I mean, you're worth 3 billion, 4 billion. And he said at the time, Jeff Bezos might have been worth 35 or 40 billion. And he was like, well, what can he do that you can't? And he's like, he can buy a super yacht. And he said, like, what? Like, you can still go and buy a really good yacht. Why does it have to have 4 helipads, a tennis court, an indoor and outdoor swimming pool for you to be content and for you to be happy? But I think it's just the human nature of wanting something that maybe someone else has got or we just don't have. It's just like a normal thing. And even at that level, $3 billion, bro, net worth. Think how much money that actually is. And my guy was still being like, oh, but he's so rich.
You always want what you can't have.
It's the same. I think the same thing applies to what you said regarding Jack. Like, yeah, he can be doing 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, 10 million a year. But again, another thing that was said in that podcast, the guys that are doing 10 always say they want to do 50. The guys that do 50 always want to do 150. The guys that do 150 want to do a quarter M. Quarter M's want to do half an M. Half an M's want to do an M. Mm-hmm. M wants to do 3M. Everybody always wants that next thing. And I think it's quite toxic.
You think?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the person.
But how many people do you know that think, oh, well, I need to achieve this goal and then I'll be happy?
Probably a number of people.
Let's say me and you, realistically. Don't we think that our lives will be drastically better when we get 6 figures a month?
I think they probably will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when we get to 6 figures a month, what about when we realize that we still have the same problems, we still have the same arguments with our other halves, we still have the same disputes in our households, me and you still turn up on different moods on different days and still clash? The 100K just means it's just like it's just the money.
But it alleviates a lot of things though as well.
I hear you. Mm-hmm. I do hear you.
Again, I'm just thinking, going back to what Jack said at the end of the pod, like the feelings that we can't have now. When he was like, you guys, when you guys are on a jet ski in Dubai, riding next to each other, and you're looking at each other, and you're just gonna.
That was Liam. That was Liam.
Was it Liam?
Yeah, like boys, we made it.
Yeah. Like that, regardless whether we've got the same problems or not, having those experiences that 100K a month will open, and like being able to treat our families or the boys to like certain things, like that's priceless, and that's things that we can't do now. Yeah. And same again when it gets to $1 million a month, and we can go and fucking treat dad to a supercar, or like one of the boys to, I don't know, a trip to wherever. Like these things are priceless that we wouldn't be able to do without those funds. Like regardless, those problems, whether you're broke or whether you're rich, you're still going to have those same problems, but the money alleviates certain things that you can't do. Yeah. Gains you access to experiences.
I'm with you, bro. Like I want them. Give me the money. Bring me the money. I want the money. But yeah, I think a lot of people are in the mind frame of when I reach this amount of money, or when I get this promotion, or do you know what I mean? When I sell my business for this price, everything's going to be fine. But like you've just said, yeah, the money can take the pressure off of some of that stuff, but that stuff's still going to be there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we just went in a massive 360.
In terms of that stuff, I don't know, the satisfaction doesn't come out of, like, I've said this quote on the pod so many times now, I feel like I keep going back to it, but the satisfaction of achieving a goal doesn't come from actually achieving the goal. It comes through the journey that you have to go through. Like I've said before, the man that loves walking will walk further than the man that loves the destination. Actually arriving there, nothing changes. Like realistically, if we're sat there and we open our bank account and there's £1 million in there, like realistically, nothing in our life changes apart from what we see through our vision. But everything that we had to go through, like, truly makes it worth it, and appreciate everything that we've done.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The way that I can relate to it like is through like training for a marathon. Like you train for 16 weeks or however long, and then you finish the marathon. You're just like, oh, okay, is that it? Like,
but
genuinely,
it's the lessons that you get taught along that journey that like make you competent to finish that marathon or make you competent to have that £1 million in your account. It's not actually the £1 million or the marathon finish line or the six figures a month, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. It's not actually that you achieve. You achieve all of the stuff that you learned along the way, the experiences, the conversations, the wins, the losses. These are all like different chapters in your book that make you the person that you're going to be. And then the reward at the end is just whether you've actually stayed persistent throughout.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right, so back to agency business,
Yeah.
how people can scale, what we've learned. So it's good offer. Then where do we go to?
I mean, once you've got a good offer, you've got to put it in front of people, right? You've got to put it in front of people. You've got to captivate people. You've got to create some kind of scarcity to make sure that if they don't get it now, it's going to go.
Yeah, that's one thing that we didn't touch on with the offer, create scarcity. 5 slots left, only working with one person per area, only taking on clients once a week. And
well, it's at this price for a week or 2 weeks, and then after it's going back up to X. Yeah, so you have to create an offer that people find it hard to say no to. The example that we can use is our own. We're literally running a whole ad campaign around something that we don't even know is gonna work. We're just putting our trust in Mr. Hormozy. You're reading, listening to, right? Audio, or you're reading it?
Offers. No, I'm listening.
Yeah, same. You're listening to offers. I'm listening to leads, and Hormozy says that you have to have a lead magnet that solves a problem of your ideal target audience. For us, that is working with poorly run agencies that are over-promising and underperforming, people that are basically just taking money from you, or just a lack of leads, a lack of new foot flow into your practice, into your dental practice. What we've created is basically the exact system that someone's going to pay us to do, a complete run through of what it is. So we've shown everybody that comes through our ad what we're going to do. We've solved the issue because what we do solves your problem. You get leads, but it creates a new problem, which you then charge to solve. So the heavy problem is, how do I generate leads? Well, we've just given you a blueprint to how to do it. There's a lot of moving parts. You need to run an ad campaign. You need to set up automations, go high level, what you're filling out, the copy, all of this stuff, landing pages, branding, what the ad creative's looking like. Are you staying on top of the ad creatives? Are you making more ad creatives? What the ad creatives even consist of? Am I using a camera? Am I using my phone, microphones? There's a lot of stuff that are busy professionals not really going to have the access to or the time to actually go and fulfill. So that's their new problem. And we solve it for 9,800, motherfucker.
But then let's go back a little bit. Obviously, we spoke about how do we get this in front of people.
Yeah.
So it's like there's different avenues that you can go down. So whether it's paid or organic. So like, for instance, organic is going to be social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of these different places, and creating content consistently over a long period of time, which will eventually bring you leads. This is the longer route to go down, obviously the more affordable one.
And database reactivation.
Okay, yeah.
Database reactivation is another free way to generate new leads.
It's not completely free.
Well, to an extent, it's low cost, right? I mean, you can argue that Instagram isn't free because you're going to have to either film it yourself and edit it yourself and do all the stuff yourself, or you're going to pay someone to do it. But it's obviously a much cheaper alternative to going down paid advertisement, and it's a lot. Well, you said it was longer for the organic, but I mean, database reactivation is something that you want to implement quite quickly. For a bit of context, database reactivation is literally reactivating any old leads that a client would have. So for an example, we've got past clients that worked with us in different spaces. We store all of their data into a CRM system. All of a sudden, we've got a new offer. All we do is try and reactivate those leads with our new offer, because now might be the time that they're ready to go to the next level, or they've got the budget, or they've got an investment for marketing, or whatever it is. You never know. So you reactivate that database with your new offer, with the hopes that they end up coming through as a warm lead, and you end up closing a sale. So that's the organic, and then paid. Take it away, my friend.
Paid, there's a bunch of different avenues to go down. I mean, the main ones are Meta and Google. These, like, again, they still take time. Like, nothing's promised. if you have poor creatives, obviously targeting is a bit easier, but if you've got poor creatives, poor targeting, you're not going to have a successful ad. But testing plenty of good ads, which you feel comfortable in, removing your emotions away from them, you'll find success eventually. But the main thing I think to do with ads is having a good offer. So for instance, going back to our CTA is you swipe up or you click the link for a whole entire system that's completely free that we use for our clients that's worth thousands. Like that is a good offer. For instance, Hormozy's one is you get 2 weeks of however much it's worth, $10,000 worth of school knowledge and everything for free for 2 weeks. That's a good lead magnet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the kind of, again, you solve the problem, the first one, and you open up another one. But as well, you also gain so much trust throughout that lead magnet. Mm-hmm. And that's sales 101. If someone doesn't trust you, they're never going to buy from you. So having a strong lead magnet in place where you're basically, in our instance, we're giving away the complete blueprint to what we're going to do. We're showing you step by step all of the action that we would take if you were to pay us. You can either do it yourself or you can pay us. But we've given them everything, and we've given it them for 9 minutes of their time, or whatever it's going to be. How much more likely is that person to trust you as a person, to trust you as a company, to put a little bit of faith in you, maybe if they are just on the edge of, we need someone to come and help us with X, Y, and Z or whatever, but who are they going to go with? It's going to be the guys that give them as much help for free, as opposed to the guys that are trying to ram something down your throat straight away. Buy now, buy, yeah, click out, check out now. Like, that's going to push people away. And the same thing with school. You get onto the school platform for 2 weeks, you realize, wow, this is fucking brilliant. This is worth every single penny. When my 2 weeks is up, I'm definitely going to check out. Obviously, your product has to be solid. Your service has to be solid. But if it is, then you shouldn't be scared of kind of like giving it away for free.
I'm going to say something. A lot of gurus and like the social media gurus and stuff like that, they all say never give anything away from free.
Don't work for free, they say. Don't go and work for free. With the intentions of getting them as a paid client after.
I was just going to say that Hormozy's he's doing the opposite. Obviously, I know he says the opposite in like his book offers on some other stuff, content that he puts out. But it just got me thinking, because the school thing, it is 2 weeks for free.
Yeah, but it's 2 weeks for free, then it gets ripped away from you. And if you want it, still you have to buy it. For an example, let's say me and you walk into a practice and we say, we want to work with you for free for 6 months. That practice, we might go in, we might gain loads of trust, we might get them loads of results. But at the 6 month mark, we're the guys that have been working for them for free.
I was just going to say that
when we go and put a 3K retainer in front of them, are they going to take us seriously or not?
I was just going to say that I'm going back to someone as well that I've been seeing a lot of ads of that does lead gen, and he does 2 weeks of £1. And then obviously after that, like, you take it away and then they have to pay for us. But it's like almost like a trial period.
Yeah.
Again, just food for thought.
Well, should we give some kind of overview? Because I feel like we've thrown a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different things. The main, this is going to be a shorter and sweeter episode because we've got literally so much stuff going on at the minute. But yeah, the main message is how to get to 6 figures a month. And our effective blueprint is niche down, find one offer towards one target audience, make it really, really, really good. Put it front of that target audience through paid or paid or organic marketing. Then you've effectively got a lead. What's the next step to making sure that those guys come through?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. Because that's where we got to, isn't it?
Right. So obviously, a lead may book an appointment, or they may just become a lead. They're either a hot lead, booked an appointment, or they're just a normal lead. Depending on what they are, is how you're going to nurture them. So, for instance, if someone books an appointment, you can send them loads of reminders. Make sure they show up to the appointment. Maybe even a phone call, depending on the resources that you have, who's front of house, if you've got a team that can do that, or whether you're able to do that yourself. But you're going to make sure that you send out reminders as well through phone calls to ensure that they're going to show up for their appointment. So there's less no-shows. If they don't show up, you try reschedule, or you have a strict no-show policy to make people want to turn up. The other thing is, if you have a lead, there's plenty of scenarios where plenty of businesses, and again, this is e-com as well. You might have a huge database of potential customers or people that have already bought from you that are there. We touched on database reactivation before. All it takes is consistent automations going out to them with a good offer and you might close 10% of these leads, 20% of them, and this is business that you would have never had before for a very, very low cost, or to be honest with you, time at the start setting this up, but then after you don't have to touch it ever again.
Well, you got to refine it, right?
Yeah,
you've got to make it better,
you refine it, but
it's in place.
But let's
the foundations are there.
But let's say 5 hours to set up, minimum. Yeah, like it's quite a lengthy process.
Yeah.
But then once that's done, realistically, unless you do want to go and refine it, which of course we're going to do with ours and for our clients, but if you don't want to do that, you can just leave it, and it should still work if it's a good set of automations.
Yeah. Also, a software, guys, that we use in our agency and for our clients to set up automated phone calls, texts, emails is called Go High Level. It's brilliant. Just a little plug. Go High Level, sponsor us and give us our membership for free.
Start white labeling it to everybody on the pod.
You also said about obviously sending like loads of reminders out at all time, like to make sure that they show up. But the emails and the text messages that go out as well, one thing you didn't mention is another way for you to put more testimonials and more credibility in front of that person, again, to further gain that trust.
Create awareness of what it is that you actually offer,
Exactly.
and awareness of a problem that they might be facing.
Yeah.
So when they do jump on that call or they press on the site to buy that product, they're already going to have that in mind.
Yeah. We use our own agency as an example. Hage is a dental practice owner, really successful, Harley Street, by the way. You are raking it in.
You already know.
You've come through, you've saw our ad, you saw on the lead magnet, you think these guys know exactly what they're talking about. Their system sounds brilliant. I could do with some more clients, or I'm opening a new practice. I want to fill it up quickly, whatever. He's come through our whole system. Along the process, he's booked a call in to speak with us. Along the process, obviously, you get your confirmation call, confirmation email, all of this kind of stuff. Like you said earlier, if you've got access to like a setter or someone that's going to take care of your calls, quick confirmation phone call, personal touch, etc., make them feel special. But along the way, it's, hey, Harris, just a friendly reminder, our call is at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Are you still available? That's still great. You're reminding them. But in this sequence as well, also use it like as an excuse to send them further credibility. Look at other people that were in your exact position. Look at the results we got for them. This is Gusta. He was at 50K per month revenue. He worked with us for 6 months, and now he's at 150K per month revenue. He's implemented the exact same system you're going to. Already, how much more excited are you as a potential lead coming onto that call with me? How much more ready are you going to be to buy when you've seen multiple different stories of other clients that have worked with us, other success stories, as well as the reminder, don't forget it. Oh, and also there's someone else that made 100K. Oh, don't forget it. Here's someone else that did 25. When you're you're just building that trust, you're building that credibility. So when you jump on the call, they're coming and they're ready to be sold to. Hey, how are you today? What's the problem? Yeah, let's fix it. You ready? Sign here. Because you've already done all the hard work. The nurturing of the lead is the most important part. It's where you're going to really either get someone or lose someone. So, yeah, that was a long-winded way to say credibility. Got to give the examples, man.
But the thing is, though, is there's no better referral than... There's no better marketing than a referral.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the second best thing to a referral is credibility. But then something else as well, which is going to give you... Because realistically, all of these things are gaining trust. One of the ultimate things that you can do to gain trust as well is by offering a guarantee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't even touch on the guarantee.
A guarantee to your offer. So, for instance, like, let's say if you're an e-com store and you're selling, I don't know, whatever it is.
Creatine.
An eye mask. I thought of an eye mask. And let's say if this eye mask, if you wear it consistently and it doesn't improve your sleep over the course of a month, you get your money back. No one's ever going to activate that, but it's a guarantee that, so it's like risk-free for somebody. For instance,
completely risk-free.
Yeah. For instance, for a service, it's like either you get your money back or we'll continue working with you until we get the results that we promised, etc. But a guarantee ensures that somebody is actually going to get what they've paid you for.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, let's go back to the eye mask example. I pay you 30 quid for an eye mask because I'm struggling to get sleep. What's the worst case scenario? I move my money to another account. I don't get better sleep, and the money comes back to my other account. And I've still got an eye mask.
It creates something completely risk-free for someone.
Yeah.
Completely risk-free.
The risk is on you, which again is going to make more trust. It's like they're willing to risk the sale on me completely on their product or in their service, probably worth a go, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of them things.
Again, these are all things that you feed into your offer and you make it better.
Yeah. And in regards to referrals as well, you said that's the best way to get new clients. Of course it is, because if someone's putting their pride and their dignity on the line to preach about your product, your service to other people in their space that they respect, and there's a mutual respect between them, of course they're going to come across and be happy. So set up a referral scheme. If you're selling a high product, a high ticket service to somebody that's also doing the same thing, again, we'll use our example in the dental space. Dentists are pretty well-respected individuals, right? You have to go through a lot of training. You have to go through a lot of education. It's a hard job to get. Not everybody can be a dentist. So they're very respected people. If you've got a very respected person speaking highly about your product, service, company to another person in the same space as them, that's great. Incentivize them to do that.
Even add like referral programs and stuff like that.
Yeah, incentivize them to do it.
Important.
Every single client that we sign for a referral of yours, we give you 500 quid. Yeah, you're going to take a hit in your profits for that first month, but how much more inclined are they to talk about you if they think, oh, I can give them 10 people. I know I've got 10 people in a group chat that would all love this stuff. They all want to be busier. There's $5,000 for me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I tell them? And yes, we're giving them $5,000, but what's that 10 grand worth of that 10 clients worth? A lot more than the 5. And that 5 is just a one-time payment. Unless they keep referring, which is great. But then the rest is they're coming to us, and then you give them the same referral scheme. Have you got any other people? We'll give you 500. If you can get other people speaking about your product, your service, your company in a positive way to other people that you're trying to sell to, you're going to sell, and you're going to sell a fucking shitload. And everyone wins. Well, if your product's good.
Yeah.
That's one thing we haven't spoken about, product or service.
It's something that's always been very, very important to us.
The most important. It has to be. You can have all the best marketing like techniques. You can have the best ad. You can have the best automations. But if your product is shit, people just leave. And then you're not going to get any referrals.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've got nothing.
That's why it takes constant refinement of your product.
Yeah.
And making sure that it works.
Yep.
Creating the systems as well that your product actually flows smoothly and you just rinse and repeat in the exact same product. I'm just going to say product because realistically, I know that you touched on it. You want to productize your service so that you can constantly rinse and repeat this exact same product, and it's not custom things that you're making.
It's just copy and paste.
Exactly.
And then as well, to go to the next level, once you get your first 5, 10, 15 clients through the door and you, your business partner, your immediate team of people can't handle it anymore, all you have to do is set up a loom. You don't need high-skilled individuals. You just need people that you can find VAs from all around the world that are happy to go and fulfill jobs for you at a much lower cost than an ad specialist. But if you create a video one time of how to create this perfect advert, press this button, don't press this button, step by step by step by step by step, you can put that in front of a 5-year-old and all they have to do is follow the instructions. All of a sudden, you've got 10 VAs fulfilling 10 new clients a day. There's your 100K a month business.
Come on.
It sounds easier. It's easier said than done, but yeah. So overview, really, in short, create a banging offer, create a really, really good product or service to one target audience, one niche, and hammer your ads, really. Once you get them through, you need to set up your automation so that they're constantly being kind of taken care of, build that trust, build that credibility, close the client, set up your referral scheme, and then automate it and step away. Because you get into the business game not to work, right? You get into the business game to work on your business, not work in your business. Everybody that gets into business wants to make money, live freely, have time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. You want all of these stuff, but you can't get them unless you create the business that's going to allow you to do that. So fucking create it. Well, yeah. Everybody, H, thank you for coming today, man. Really appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure to be on the Gooms Pod.
Guys, thank you for tuning into this episode. It was short and sweet. I hope it helped some of you guys. Hopefully we see you at the top. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn that bell notification on so you get notified every time we release a podcast. And we'll see you all next week.
Love, guys. We'll catch you later.
Peace.